Hello everyone, this is Elliott Wave Cafe. I'm your host, The Cowboy, and welcome to another edition of the Chart of the Day for YouTube, where every single week between Monday and Thursday we take a look at a different asset, a different stock, and then we just try to make sense of the wave count, try to learn something new, see how the structures unfold, if there are any opportunities, if there is something interesting that we can watch and learn from studying the price patterns. Today we're going to take a look at Palantir, PLTR. This has been a stock that's been, it had a pretty amazing run in here. I think it was one of, Kathy Wood favorites in here, and it's been climbing from $10 here to about $45 back into the January of last year when it hit the top, and then it's been a huge downtrend ever since. And I think we've retraced more than 90% of this entire rise in prices. But this should be a pretty easy count. Even if you're a beginner, I think this is, and that's kind of what I wanted to show you, because it's not that complicated, and you should be able to identify this pretty quickly. But go ahead and stop the video and take a look at the structure and let me know what you think, and I'll follow here shortly with the wave count. But it's basically, just by visually scanning this, you can see a very strong impulse. You can see another move down. You can see a move up and then a move down. So I can see the ebb and flow of the market. And to me, it's pretty clear how this kind of, just dissects, right? You go from here to here, you got one move, then you got another move, let's say from there to here, one more move, or from the other high, doesn't matter. And then you have another move right there, right? So it's a pretty clear move. And then from here you have what it seems to be a large third wave, right? That's an amazing third wave in here with a triangle in fourth, and then a final push up in five. So that should be pretty easy to count. You start at the lows here, you go in a wave one, in a down in a two, and then you have another 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 for 3, down in a triangle 4, and then up in a wave 5. So here you are, in a pretty simple, clean structure. This here would have told you that Palantir is probably going to run into some headwinds, because any time you break out of a triangle, this move here, it's the final move in the sequence, and then you should be expecting a larger correction. I've also done a video about how to kind of think about these corrections when the first leg of the correction is not enough for the entire advance, and here is one of those examples. Now it's very, very deep, but we haven't taken these lows just yet, so that's important. But the market was so so impulsive here that it needed a long time to kind of correct and just distribute, let's say, all this optimism that kind of happened into this big rally. So let's just delete these lines, and instead of those lines, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put down as an ABC, because that's the simplest corrective structures that we have. So it almost looks like a zigzag. So we're going to go in A, up in B, and then down in C. Now, why isn't it a flat? Well, it's not a flat because this is a 5-wave move, and I'll show you in a second. This is not a flat because this B wave does not travel about 90% of the wave A. So that's why it's not a flat. Usually for a B wave, you go 38%, 50%, 618. And if you look at this one actually traveled pretty closely to that 61.8 in a 3-wave manner. This move in here, it's a pretty clean, I would say, 5-wave impulse. So you go in a 1, 2, 3, A, B, C, D, and E, for a wave 4, and down in 5. Again, just like we've had here, right? You look at this triangle right there, final move. You look at this triangle right here, final move, followed by a rise in prices. So every time you kind of see a triangle, you know that the next expectation, it's in the direction of the trend, but it is the final wave in that sequence. And this wave here could be a little bit longer, could be extended, could be short. Every time you pass the wave 3, you kind of satisfy the requirements for a fifth wave, short of it being, let's say, a truncated fifth, which rarely happens. And then you kind of have to count inside these waves to make sure that you have a 5-wave structure, right, in that fifth wave. But again, triangle in here, and, beautifully followed by a final sequence in there. So here is the move right there, 3, 4, and I'm going to do this one as well, right in there. So A, B, C, D, and E. This one kind of terminated right there, like that. And then you had a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 trust. in there for the fifth wave. Now you're left with the final move in here. So you have a 1, 2, that's pretty clear. 1, 2, this is probably a 618 retracement. Then you have a large third wave decline, a fourth wave, and possibly a fifth. So we can start to kind of count. Let's go there in the second and see. All 2, so that's exactly into the 618. This is the beauty of fibs and beauty of retracement and beauty of second waves and respecting what the wave principle tells you, what the the larger technical analysis when it comes to retracements and projections and stuff like that. These are golden fib ratios. That's why they're so important. So you can see in here B wave travel almost up there. Second wave, just up there to the touch, and then you're selling lower in this larger third wave. Let's see how far that third wave traveled. So a little bit past the 2618, which is fine. But we pull back, shortly after in what seems to be another triangle in here in an A, B, C, D with a small E wave up top. And then, you have a little bit of a sell-off here. Is this the end of the move? Well, I would say that if you calculate wave 5 versus wave 1, and you can look at that 5 versus 1 plus 3, that's something that I'm, watching when I have more of a standard third wave decline in here. So you have 38%, which was hit. So we can go ahead and pin that out. And then I can also do 5v1 ratio analysis, 5 versus 1, near 100%, which was a little bit higher up at about 1123. But you're getting a little bit of a resistance in here. So you can just kind of visually look at the wave 1 length and the wave 5 length, and you can say that, you might have a complete structure. Now, the reason I'm saying this is because I'm noticing a large third wave advance, right? And unless something horrible happens and this fifth wave becomes extended in some way or some kind of an ending diagonal, right? Where it, let's say for whatever reason, it starts to do an ABC and it drags along like this, and then it goes back up and it comes like that. And, and you're trying to do some kind of a ending diagonal in here. That's the only way I could see this continuing to develop. I don't expect a much larger sell-off, let's say in a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, in a big sell-off in there. I don't think the wave structure suggests that, especially because you've already had such a strong third wave. If you already have a strong third wave, getting a much longer impulsive fifth wave, it's not very likely. So I think I'm going to stick with this. I think I like it. Now, we need to see a little bit of confirmation that we have a low, and that the way we do that is you start to count, hopefully a 5-wave move out of here, and we've got a wave 1, maybe a 2, you're going to get a 3, 4, and 5. You're going to have to start to take this high, you're going to have to pull back, and then you're going to have to start to kind of move back up higher. And then it's anybody's guess. I mean, it can go all the way up to the B wave, it can make new highs. Who knows how this is going to progress, but what that's going to tell you here is that this move, A, B, C, it's probably done. And whatever comes next, it's part of a different sequence. It could be maybe a large triangle in an X wave. I don't know. Maybe it's going to be, much larger impulse in another A, B, and then up in C. And then, how you connect that to the rest of the count remains to be seen. But basically, the bottom line is that this should be towards the end of its move. Should be in its final stages, if not already completed. The market structures here is kind of hinting to that. And, all I got to do is just wait for a little bit of confirmation, maybe go to a smaller time frame here. Let's go to a 6 hour, not much there just yet. Maybe there's a little leading diagonal, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then a 3 wave, but you have to kind of start rallying. So if you have hit a low up in here, and this is a move in a leading in there, right? And you've done a 3 wave decline, that means that maybe, only maybe, this is ready to kind of push back up higher over the next few sessions. So that I'm watching this, but that's not enough. If it's only a 3 wave move up to this 4th wave, that's a problem. That means we're going to sell lower. I want to see 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I want to see a larger impulsive structure to the upside. So that's my analysis on Palantir. I hope you enjoy it. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and, hit the thumbs up button and hit the bell. You know the drill. And, leave your comments. Let me know what you want to see next. Come and visit us into the pro room. Visit me on Twitter as well. And I'll be happy to hear from you. Until next time, be well and trade smart. Watch the wave counts and be patient. Bye-bye.